Growing with the lilies. Parshas Vaera. Here's a really interesting question. This is Sarah the best. The interesting question is, have you ever been, whether you're a parent or maybe a grandparent or a pre-parent or whatever, have you ever been recently with a preteen who, that you're trying to satisfy, even being in a store with them, and they're trying to choose something, and nothing can satisfy them. Like, yeah, there's nothing good in this store. Everything's garbage. What's the point? This store doesn't have anything good. And you kind of feel you're in that helpless situation of like, wow, it does not feel like anything's going to satisfy this particular person. Now, in previous generations, that stuff wasn't tolerated. And probably kids didn't say it so much. And now we're in a different generation. Not only, parents tolerate it, but more, there's a feeling of dissatisfaction and unrest that's much stronger than previous generations. Like, yeah, what I need isn't here. So the question is that true? What I need is not here. So let's spend just a couple of minutes looking at Parshas Vaera and see if that's the case. Because Parshas Vaera says, Hashem says, Vaera l'Avram el Yitzchak leYaakov b'kel shakai, u'shmi havaya lo nadati lehem. I appeared to the Avos with the name Kel Shakai, and I did not appear to them with the name Yud Kei Vav Kei. Right? And now, okay, our question is, what is this name Yud Kei Vav Kei? That's the name with which Hashem makes these unbelievable miracles. Now the question is, on the level of Yud Kei Vav Kei, are there all kinds of, is it a whole potpourri of stuff that you like and stuff you don't like, and it's one big chaos? Because if that's the case, we are right now in that big chaos. That is for sure. In other words, one day we can kind of feel like at this point in time, Hashem is kind of giving us a combination of one day it's light, one day it's dark. There are definitely huge miracles happening in the world, but it's like up, down, up, down, up, down. Together with the incredible miracles, Rahman Islam, there are a lot of things that are happening, especially to Yidden, that we don't like and we should not like. So we live in a pretty chaotic time. Question is that what the revelation of Yud Kei Vav Kei, of Havaya, Shvi Havaya, Lo Nadati Lehem, is that what it feels like? Well, we definitely know how it feels. And what happened at Matan Torah is Hashem did, remember, the Avos were not, Hashem did not reveal himself as Yud Kei Vav Kei to them, because they had a different Avaida, and we're going to see in a second, we are the Avos of the future. Spoiler alert. The point of this is to show, the point of today's lecture is to show, we are the Avos of the future. Just let that sink in for a second, and we'll just spend a couple of minutes of explanation and then sign off and wish everybody a good Shabbos. We are the Avos of the future. We are like the Avos of the future. Okay, so leave it for a second. So here's what we're saying. Hashem had to reveal himself, I guess, as Yud Kei Vav Kei at Matan Torah, because if you're going to mix together Ruchnius and Gashmius, Elyon and Tachton, spiritual and physical, those two things don't really go together very well, do they? Not exactly, my dear. Right? They don't. And in order to put together those two exact opposites, Hashem has to not work within the confines of either one of them, but has to go to a level way above them. That level way above them where, whoa, equalize like a weird shidduch, a weird match, spiritual and physical. That's a pretty weird match. We live that way. We do mitzvahs and it's just basic for us. But it's a weird match. And to tell you the truth, I do remember many years ago working in a computer store and something, I don't know, I mentioned something, I was typing some kind of a Torah script and a non-Jewish worker said, I make a policy of not mixing religion with business. And I was just fresh to this. I said, that's the whole point. To mix godliness, to mix religion, to mix holiness with everything. And I understood at that moment that from a non-Jewish point of view, that combination does not make sense. from a worldly point of view, there has to be what's called lahavdil, separation of church and state. For us, we specifically mix together lahavdil, kedusha, and the world, holiness and the world, Hashem with the world. So what they make a policy of not doing, and they base their legal system on it, that's what we do all day long. It's what we guide our lives by. It's our goal in life. And not only that, in the future, that's all anybody will do. And we will get them on board. Merging Hashem with this physical world. So you can imagine now, when some of the non-Jewish world doesn't appreciate us so much, some do, we're in a situation where it's like they're being cranked open, they're being cranked open to a new reality. They lived all through the generations with, we don't separation of church and state. Wow, and they're having to come to the knowledge that we are going to be the leaders. Hashem will be the leader of the world. Mashiach will be the leader of the world. We're their representatives. And they're going to get used to eliminating that separation of, religion and the world, or in the truth, Hashem and the world. That began at Matan Torah. Those two were mixed, Ruchnius and Gashmius. Separation of, right? So, in order for that merging to happen at Matan Torah, you cannot do it with the name Kel Shakai. Hashem chooses not to put those two together through his name of Kel Shakai, but rather chooses to do it through his identity of Havaya, Yud-Kei Vav-Kei, Hashem. And okay, right? So therefore, no wonder. For the Avos, it was a totally different Avaida. They did the Avaida of Mesiras Nefesh to make all of this possible since Matan Torah. It's basic for us. You don't throw your tefillin out. You put them in Shemus. Why? Because of Matan Torah. Because Hashem is revealed in the physical world in a piece of leather. And once it becomes holy, it is holy forever. No separation of, that and state, of shul, synagogue, and state. None. So the Avos, Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, they did not do what's called an Avaida of revelation, where Hashem's essence is revealed in the world through a mitzvah. They did not. They did, imagine, what are we here to do? Reveal the essence. Watch these two words. The essence of Hashem should be revealed. Essence revealed. Essence revealed. The essence of Hashem should be revealed. That's actually what the Jewish people stand for. And again, if some people don't like us so much, Chas v'shalom, it's because they're not ready for the essence of Hashem to be revealed. Notice those two words, essence revealed. Now, who did the essence part of it? The Avos, Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. Who does the revelation part, the revealed part? We do. Since Matan Torah with our mitzvahs. So you have, on two sides of the border. On there's Matan Torah as the border in between, and there are the essence people, Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov on one side, enabling it for us to be able to reveal Hashem in the world through mitzvahs on the other side of the border. Good. Now, one other point, and then we'll see who are the Avos of today. So the other point is, and it's a very cryptic point, so if you don't understand it, let it go. Before Matan Torah, there was one mitzvah in which the essence of Hashem was revealed, but it was only one person, one mitzvah, Bris Milah, Avram Avinu, one time. But says the Rebbe, as long as the essence of Hashem is not revealed in the entire world, everywhere, and revealed, it's not fully the essence. What is the big chiddush of Yemais Mashiach? Remember those two words, essence and revealed, or revelation? The essence of Hashem will be revealed in the entire world. There you go, Yemaisa Mashiach. What is Mashiach all about? Somebody asks you, oh, you're Jewish, could you tell me about Mashiach? What will it be like in Mashiach times? Just throw the two words at them. The essence of God will be revealed in the whole world. That's it. You got the sentence. Right? Write it down. What is Mashiach times all about? Sir, Mrs. Jewish person, the essence of God will be revealed in the whole world. Done. That's it. That's the whole story. So now we're again at a border. The border is before Yemaisa Mashiach and after Mashiach, after Yemaisa Mashiach, or in Yemaisa Mashiach. And there's that border. And guess who's standing on the border? It's us. Nobody here but us chickens. We are preparing the world for Mashiach times when we said, what? The essence of Hashem will be revealed in the whole world. And as the Rambam says, and we just had the Rambam's yahrzeit, the entire occupation of the entire world will be nothing other than to know Hashem. In a revealed way, but in a true way, in which His essence is there in what you understand and see. So here we are standing on that border. And as we said, when it came to the Avos, they lived the Avait of essence. What does that mean in practical terms? Mesiras Nefesh. And since Matan Torah, we live the Avait of revelation. We reveal Hashem through our mitzvahs in the world. So on some level, you could say we are like the Avos. We are now in a situation where our Avaita is kind of Mesiras Nefesh. Mesiras Nefesh doesn't have to mean, God forbid, the necessity to give one's life al Kiddush Hashem. We've had already too much of that. But it's even to the point of you're kind of doing stuff and you're wandering around in darkness, and one day it's good and one day it's not good, and one day it's pleasant and one day it's horrible, and all this other stuff. And it's a Mesiras Nefesh Avaita. You don't see the payback for what you're doing. That's called Mesiras Nefesh. So why are we doing it? On some level, we are building Mashiach times. We're standing on this side of the border, bringing the whole world through our Mesiras Nefesh as, so to speak, the Avos, into Yemaisa Mashiach, when everything will be revealed and all the dust will settle and it'll be totally different. And really, who's empowering us are the Avos of Chassidus. Just like there were literally three Avos, Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, so there are three Avos of Pnei Torah that are really doing the job, but they're empowering us. And those are the last three generations of the Rebbe Rashab, the Frierdiker Rebbe, and the Rebbe. Those are the Avos. And corresponding to the Rebbe Rashab's first mimer was Keser Yitnu Lecha, Malchus. The Frierdiker Rebbe was Reishis Goyim Amalek, destroy Amalek, and the Rebbe is Bati Lagani. Because when you come into Eretz Yisrael, there are three mitzvahs. Appoint a king, Keser Yitnu Lecha. Destroy Amalek, Reishis Goyim Amalek, that's the Frierdiker Rebbe. And build a Beis HaMikdash, Bati Lagani, that's the Rebbe's Avaya. And those three last generations of Miyad, Mashiach should come Miyad, those three Avos of Chassidus, empowered by all the generations of all the Tzaddikim and all the Moshe Rabbeinus of all the generations, are doing that Mesiras Nefesh, and even giving us that kayach of being Mesiras Nefesh, of us being on our own simple level, the foot soldiers who are kind of like the Avos, to empower the world in the future. Ushmiya Bailoni Dati Lehem, that the name of Hashem, Yud Kei Vav Kei, will be revealed in the entire world, that the entire world will come to Lo Yadaiti and Yadaiti, to know Hashem. What will be the occupation of the world? Knowing Hashem. Being one with Hashem and going deeper and deeper in knowing Hashem. And we, through our Vaera now, are making that possible. As not simple as it feels, because it's not simple. And yet, we're almost doing it in the dark. But any second, the lights will come on and we will see what we accomplished. When we think now we're not accomplishing anything, we often think that. Wait and see what's going to happen when all of the visuals of what we're building and planting in the dark now, when all the lights come on and all our planting and all our effort comes to fruition and it all becomes visible, it will be a very different view. And we'll be able to look back and understand what we did, what we accomplished for the future. So may we feel the kayach and the ability to push forward and continue to accomplish it in the most incredible way, even when we don't see it now. And that we no longer have to deal with darkness, none. And may the visibility of Hashem in Yemais Mashiach come to us immediately now, and us find ourselves in the third base of Mikdash, in the Gula Mikdash immediately now.